Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom. But before I begin, please, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, leave your comments, share the video, and if you're interested, we have a membership that's available and that will be in the description box below. So today we're going to talk about Love Without Borders, Season 1, Episode 7. I hope he has a really big heart. So when we left off from last week, we saw Erica, the relationship expert. She has flown to Dubai to check in with Gurleen and Sharaf because Gurleen reached out to her. She's feeling like her mental status isn't right and she just needs someone to talk to that's going to give her advice and direction on which way they're going to go. Now, Erica also has come to talk to different cast members as well, whether it be in person or on Zoom. But, I suggested in the last video that she do that because they're all going through some sort of situation back and forth. So now we're picking back up with Gurleen and Sharaf. So it's the next morning. Erica comes over to the house to talk to them. She asked them both to be transparent. Well, really, she's talking to Gurleen because, Gurleen, like I said, she's the reason why she's in Dubai. Sharaf is talking about, the topic of equal rights come up. And he says that he's not used to the equal rights situation that Gurleen was talking about because when he grew up and how he grew up, his mom and his sisters always had equal rights. So he didn't have to worry about that. And then Gurleen says, from her perspective, she doesn't understand how or why Sharaf doesn't know that there's rights for women that aren't equal. I guess she's talking about whether it be in Dubai or where their families are from, India. And she says that even though his mom and sister hasn't experienced that, there's so many people that do. And she just can't understand why he can't see that or never did his research about it. And that conversation ended up with an argument, one of many arguments that they have had about different topics since the time that she's come over to Dubai. Because Gurleen she's very independent and she's self-reliant. And I don't really think that she's used to someone in a relationship that can give an opinion. Maybe someone's always told her that she was right all the time. I don't know, but there's just so much back and forth. And Sharaf said, you know what? Even though they had, they can have an argument, but the difference with this argument is that Gurleen pulled out her video to record them. And Gurleen says she pulled that video out because she was drunk or they were drunk and that she would have video evidence. So I guess she was talking about whenever after the argument was over, like if you said something different, she could go on the video and say, that's not what you said and pull it out. And Sharaf, I'm guessing he doesn't think that's a fair fight. So Erica says, where do they stand today? And Sharaf says there's no romance or hopeful for a friendship. And Gurleen says the same. And then Erica says, this is not the direction that she hoped for with Gurleen and Sharaf. But she was hoping there would be, that they would have a connection. And then Then Erica suggested that Erica go ahead and get her bags and come home because she feels that Erica is saying this to Gurleen, that her mental status isn't where it needs to be. And then Gurleen says, you know what? That is not fair. That's not fair. That's not the reason why I'm going home. I'm going home because we don't have a connection. And Erica says, no, that's exactly why you're going home. You called me here, remember? And last night's conversation, you were talking about your mental health. And so production shows a clip where Erica is saying that her mental health is not in check. She doesn't know about love. She can't find her love. She don't have a soulmate. And then that's when Gurleen was like, oh, yeah, that's true. So apparently Gurleen had to be called out on her stuff before she would even admit to mental health, which is something that she suggested was something that was the reason why she was going home. So yeah, that was really the back and forth reason with her and Sharaf. Like I said, they've had many of arguments with his friends, mainly his friends or whatever in their circle. But Gurleen is just, I don't know. I'm not sure she's really, really ready. So after all that, Gurleen packs up, she gets her stuff, she gets her phone, and then she walks out. And then later on, we see Sharaf, his family comes over, and he's telling them that the relationship with him and Gurleen is no longer. And one of the things is Sharaf's dad was saying, well, you know, he gave the background about the equal rights and different little things about the arguments that they got into. And Sharaf's dad, he seems like he's a very traditional type of guy. And he's trying to get Sharaf to see the point, like, well, if you were married, like, would this argument be worth leaving your marriage? And Sharaf was saying, well, we're not married. And there was just no having common ground. And so in confessional, Sharaf said that, you know, he hasn't even told his family all the things that they got into an argument with, just select things, because whether he felt embarrassed or whatever, but yeah, he wasn't comfortable. And so his sister was saying to Sharaf, like, you know, she came here, she wants to go home. You know, that's just pretty much that is what it is. And then the dad came around and said, okay, well, we met her. She seemed nice. And that's that. So the family supportive of his decision and theirs to move on separately. Next up, we have Naeem and Chandra. Now, Chandra is talking with Erica. Erica is asking how things are going and the details about how things are going. And Chandra says, well, Naeem likes to joke around a lot and it kind of pisses her off, but maybe it's a cultural thing. But what Chandra doesn't realize is that Naeem has already talked to Erica before Erica even talked to Chandra. And Naeem was saying that he doesn't know or doesn't he doesn't understand why he's even here if Chandra is still being friends with her ex and just being around the ex. Like, is the ex really an ex? You know, he said the Uber driver, ex-boyfriend, is he all that, or are they really back together somehow? And so Naeem says he didn't come all that way to be disrespected, So Chandra tells Erica that, yes, she has a friend. He comes by and he may, Enrique, have feelings for her, but she feels like she's just his friend. And Erica was saying, you know what, don't be blowing smoke up my butt, you know, just, or like a Judge Judy quote, like, don't pee on my leg, tell me it's raining kind of thing. And then Chandra starts crying and tells Erica that, you know, no one has ever called her out like that. And she feels bad and she's going to try to make things better with Naeem and go forward. But also Erica says to Chandra that you need to figure out who you are and what it is that you want. You need to go in and deep inside to see exactly what is going on with you. Now, after those conversations, later in the evening, Chandra takes Naeem out on the town, on the city, or whatever. It's the holiday season, so they're looking at the lights and attractions and different little things like that. And she tells him that she's sorry. She's trying to commit to the process. She wants to treat him nice. She wants to be more open with him. And she says that, you know, that the advice she received from Erica, she's trying to put into play. And Naeem sat back and he accepted her apology. And he said that he's happy that Chandra is now time for her to be, let me rephrase that. He's saying that now that he's excited to see that maybe Chandra could open up even more and see, hopefully, that she's ready to, you know, put stuff behind her and move forward. So now they're back at home, Naeem and Chandra, and we learned some interesting things, but yet at the same time, kind of things that make you feel a little sad for Chandra, but it seems like maybe now she's over that. Well, Chandra is telling a story that she has been in different relationships that had some form of abuse, and that it's been hard for her to move forward. And she's also sent a confessional that with her things of abuse that she went through, that she was seeing like those trying to see things in Naeem that maybe trying to look for bad things in him, looking for red flags, and maybe that was holding her back from this relationship. And so Naeem noticed that there was like holes in doors and just like different little things that was arraying the house. And he asked Chandra about it, and she starts getting emotional. She tells the story of her ex-boyfriends abusing her. And he says, well, do you mind if I, get these doors replaced? And she said, no, but it took her a little while to say no, because she said that she kept the doors to remind her of the place where she was and a place where she didn't want to be back to. So that was, a reminder of like, she's a strong woman. I guess that was the perception she's trying to get us to understand, us, the audience. And so Naeem says, with him being a social worker, this is what he said in confessional, that he wants Chandra to know that she's stronger than that and can get past it. But he also told her that when the door actually came, because she finally agreed to get it replaced. And again, she was emotional. And he said that he knows that she's a resilient, strong woman, and that she will get past, her hurt and things like that if she does the work. So I don't know, maybe this is the first step in Chandra's healing process. Maybe she needed to talk more with Erica. She had the door change, and maybe they could do a little bit more sprucing around the house and just maybe being a little bit more open. So we'll see where the relationship goes. But for now, it's a restart. They hit the restart button on all sides. So let's move to Aaron and Mael. Aaron and Mael, when we see them, they have a FaceTime call with Erica. When she asks them what's going on, Aaron and Mael say that what did they do when they get to a point where they tried everything and nothing is happening? And Erica's saying that she thinks that they're jumping the gun and says they're having too many intimate conversations too soon. And then Mael says, well, it's his fault because he was the one that's brought up the subject of maybe, we need to split up. Because when we saw them last week's episode, when Aaron and Mael were with Mael's family, and Aaron was saying to the family that, he sees them as being friends and nothing more, and he wasn't sure if he wanted a relationship long term. That's what triggered it with their conversations, because Mael called out Aaron on that. Like, how can you say like you just want a friendship when we just hooked up last night? Like, why would you come over here? You're meeting my family, and like now I'm just your friend. So I guess Mael was like, you know what? If he doesn't want to be all in, why should I? But Erica encouraged them to take the initiative to step out of their comfort zone. And she also told Mael, like, don't blame yourself. Step back. You've done enough. So Mael took that to heart, and it made him feel a little bit better. And then we saw Aaron and Mael again. They're walking through the park. They sit down, they have conversation. Aaron says that, he originally thought about giving up, but maybe he was like holding on to things from his past. And I thought that too. I thought that he was really holding on from his relationship where he said he was ghosted. And I just by when we first met Aaron in the first week, just having that conversation when Aaron was around his family before he even came to France to meet Mael, I initially, for my opinion, thought that was a problem, because he just didn't seem like, in the mindset, just by the things he was saying, that he was past that. So Aaron is telling Mael that if Mael gives him another chance and they keep trying, they can build upon their opportunity to start over. And Mael agreed. And so when they come back later in the evening, Aaron actually has set up a date night at home since it's cloudy outside. That's what he said. So maybe it was raining in Paris. They're doing painting. And so, that was a little more bonding experience. But man, ooh, the paintings that they were painting of each other's privates. Okay. Hey, if that's what you like, that's what you like. Next up, we have Dana and Brian. So Dana is out the house today by herself. She is going to the outdoor shopping area to sing songs that she wrote, to test them out. And I think that's also Dana's outlet because she's a singer, a traveling independent singer anyway. Before she came over to Ireland, she was living out of her van. So this is right up her alley. And also, too, I think she wanted to get out to do something different because the way Brian made her feel, the way she said he had set her up. She's just trying to find her own way. She is trying to make the best of it, because last week when Brian told her that he wasn't necessarily attracted to her, she wasn't the type of woman he would naturally go for, that broke her heart, and you can tell. And so now that she's out there singing her songs, she even has like a little tip, not a tip jar, like a tip hat, where she got a hat and people throwing tips in there. She's singing, and who comes up behind her? Brian. And you know what? I think that Dana appreciated that. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I thought that was nice of Brian to show up and give her his support, because he said last week too, when they suggested that they would try, because Dana was ready to leave and just whatever last week. This was the first step. So encouraging her, with her craft and just, watching her and just in her element, that was a step for Brian. And I hope he's being genuine. So after she's singing, they're back at home. Dana is trying to figure out how to do the laundry. She said she can't remember what compartment the liquid goes into. And I'm thinking, well, when she pulled out the drawer for the liquids, there's only 3. So one could either be for the fabric softener, conditioner, or whatever. So just pick one and put it in there. So that's just me. So then Brian comes home and she's like, oh, hey, can you tell me again how to do the laundry? He's like, what? Do the laundry? She's like, yeah, I forgot which of the soaps that they go in. So that was a little haha moment, but I think that may have been for Brian, like you don't know how to do laundry. But anyway, so Brian says, so what are we going to do later tonight? We're just going to sit around and sit at home and watch a movie? And she said, no, I don't want to watch a movie, but how about you help me write a song? And Brian said, a song? She's like, yeah. He said, well, I never wrote a song before. So they sit down and they write a song together, and it's about the ups and the downs that they've gone through. And you can see Dana, she's glowing. Like I said, that's her craft, so that's what she does naturally. And Brian was a good sport, and they sang the song. And the song talked about, I hope he really has a big heart. So it was cute. So it was good to see them doing things together. And that was Dana and Brian. So let's see who is up next. All right. Last but not least, we have Phil and Carmen. Now, Phil and Carmen are having a night out with their friends. One thing Carmen has reminded us of is that she likes to party and have fun. So while they're out, Phil says to the friends that he has purged his artsy lifestyle, because they're asking him, oh, are you going to order a drink when they're ordering drinks? He's like, no, and the reasons why. Phil reminds us that he has, used to be out doing things more, the party lifestyle and everything like that. And he's chosen celibacy and just try to calm his life down and get it back on track. And Carmen says that Phil not drinking may be a problem. And so while her friends are ordering drinks, Phil decides, hey, YOLO. So YOLO is you only live once. And so he decides to order a drink. And this is something that kind of, in my opinion, made me think a little bit, because in my opinion, if you have decided to, do a artsy lifestyle, to go on the celibate road, just because someone is around you ordering drinks, I'm sure that maybe his friend group has done that before at home. Like, why would you feel like you're being judged not having a drink? Because that's exactly what Phil said. He felt like he was being judged. And I'm thinking, maybe this is not the right group of friends. But then again, these are her friends. I know if this works out, they may become your friends too. But no, if that's what you want to do, like refrain. It's okay. Well, the friends are having a good time. They're drinking and all this and that. But when we see Phil again, Phil is at home. Now he's at home with Carmen. And then he called his friend Stormy on the phone just to catch her up because he hasn't called her since he's been over in Ghana. And he says that the night before, Carmen and himself were out drinking and partying with her friends. But he came home and he said, the rule is, you go to the club together, you come home together. But Carmen came home, but then she turned around and went right back out with her friends. And he hasn't seen her in a full day. He said he's been texting her, he's been calling her, nothing. And so Phil's friend Stormy said, so do you think you fit into her life? Into her life and her lifestyle? Friend says Phil says he doesn't know. He doesn't know if he fits in. He doesn't even know where this relationship will go long term. And so then Phil questions himself as to whether he's really meant to be there and if he's a burden to Carmen. And I don't think it's a burden to Carmen because, see, Carmen signed up for the same process that you did. So that's not that. Carmen just have said many times, whether it be to you, production, whatever, that she's into the party lifestyle. And if he's not, it might be a problem. So that's the only way it would be a problem because she's not ready to settle down. It doesn't seem like, versus Phil is, he's thought about his lifestyle, thought about what he wanted to do and the road he wanted to go. And that's where he is. So I don't think he should have to reconsider that for a potential match because guess what? That might not be your match. But Phil's friend Stormy says, well, give it a minute to see how it works out. And I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. And I don't disagree with that. Yes, you need to give it time to work out, but I don't think you have to put your morals to the side if that's not your lifestyle to see if it'll work out. So, but anyways, well, that was the end of the episode of Season 1, Episode 7, Love Without Borders. I hope he really has a big heart. And so next week, we're going to see Carmen come home and Phil and her have a conversation. And we're also going to see the relationship expert, Erica, go back to Sharaf to tell him that she's found a match for him here in Dubai and she's from America. And he's like, what? So I'm thinking, did Gerline have a change of heart and she wants to come back, or is it really someone else new? So we'll have to see who that is. So stay tuned for next week. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. So I was going to say something else, but I changed my mind. That was the end of the episode. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, and leave your comments. And until next week, live simply, be grateful.